Hello, it's Ross here from the Fundraising Partnership with another episode of our podcast, all about things to do with charity lotteries, regular giving, and face-to-face fundraising. I've actually just jumped on to record this episode as, well, frankly, the information I've got in front of me is too good not to share. I've been doing some work with one of our national charity partners, looking at the additional gifts that their lottery players make. The data I've got here shows that there has been an additional £4.8 million of extra gifts made by the lottery players whose first ever interaction with this charity was because a face-to-face fundraiser spoke to them and asked them to join their lottery. That's £4.8 million worth of gifts on top of their lottery donations that they play every single week. Face-to-face really can deliver not only for your original product that you're recruiting for, but for so much more. But I'm going to start off by saying that no matter how amazing your face-to-face agency is, no matter how many wonderful conversations they will have to promote your cause, no matter how focused they are on data and the trends, like we are at the Fundraising Partnership, any time you recruit via face-to-face, there are always going to be cancellations. There are always going to be people who cancel before they make any payment or cancel within the first few months. Obviously, the key here for you and for us as an agency is to minimise those cancellations. Not only because it will maximise your return on investment, but because of what I'm about to share with you now. It will show you how important it is to A, recruit the right donors, B, keep them, and then also C, look at building a strong relationship through your supporter journeys. Because eventually you will get to the point, if you recruit the right quality data, where you can ask these donors to leave you a gift in their will. So we're really focused here at the Fundraising Partnership on recruiting quality. It gives the charities that we represent a chance to grow their income from lotteries and regular giving. We've seen a really clear trend that younger donors cancel at a much higher rate than those who are over the age of 50 or over the age of 60. This focus that we have on quality means that on average, we're retaining over 86% of our donors over the first 3 months of their lifetime of giving. I say a lifetime of giving, as this is what the data I'm currently looking at shows. So I'm doing this piece of data analysis for this charity partner, and I can see that from the lottery players that they have recruited via face-to-face, brand new to the charity, first ever interaction was because this face-to-face fundraiser spoke to them. Over 10% of them have gone on and given an additional gift, which averages out at £420. I'm going to break this down even further here. This £4.8 million of extra gifts, less than 15%, that's 15%, less than 15% have been made by people under the age of 50. That's 14.94% of this additional 4.8 million have been made by people under the age of 50. Now, I just want you to have a think for a second about who your agency recruited for you last week. What was the average age of your new donors? It's quite scary, really, because many of you out there will have an average recruitment age last week of well under 50. So let me break it down even more. 1.08% of the gifts that have come into this charity on top of their lottery have come from donors under the age of 30. Donors under the age of 30 are not giving in additional ways, and they're cancelling at a much higher rate for their lottery subscriptions and regular giving too. Those aged between 30 and 40, 5.63% of this £4.8 million has come in from that age group. 8.23% of the 4.8 million has come in from donors aged between 40 and 50. The vast, vast majority of these additional gifts are coming in from people over the age of 50. Now, of course, we have to factor in what types of gifts are being made. You throw a few big legacies in there, and the percentages are going to be skewed towards those who are leaving legacies now, who are, let's say, over 70, over 80. I can see one of the legacies here. It's £544,000. There's another two, a £250,000 and a £265,000 legacy. Seriously big numbers from people who'd never given to this charity before, who signed up just to play their £1 weekly lottery and yet have gone on, thanks to this face-to-face interaction, to leave huge sums for this charity. But the percentages that I just gave you for those under the age of 50, I'd taken out those massive legacy gifts. I'd taken out those outliers to make sure that it was giving us, as clear an indication as possible. The data's clear that there is a certain portion of your new donors who are more valuable to you than others. So have a think about this when you're next talking with your face-to-face recruitment agency. Who do you want them to look at recruiting for you? Donors under 30, where our data shows that only 30% of them are still donating to the charities at month 12. The data has already just shown us that they're not giving in other ways. Only 1.08% of them gave an additional gift. Or the generation that legacy foresight, the leaders in legacy giving. Do you want your agency to be recruiting this age demographic, who have been quoted as the key age group that are going to double the value of legacy giving over the next 30 years? Baby boomers. Those aged between 59 and 79, who we can see through the data that we have, over 76% of baby boomers who are recruited to play a lottery or a regular gift are still donating at month 12. That's 2.5 times the number of under 30s donating by the time they get to their 12th month. When you look at the baby boomer generation, these donors are already showing signs of giving now. Over 45% of the additional gifts received by this charity have come from the baby boomer generation, and these are the legacy givers of the future. These are the people making the decisions about their wills now. These are the donors and the demographic that your legacy fundraisers are clambering to speak to. This is partly the reason why 46% of the donors that we recruited last year at the Fundraising Partnership came in this baby boomer generation. Why? Because we work with data, and the data shows that this demographic stick around and donate playing the lottery or giving their regular gift. Because the data shows that our charity partners have got the highest potential for receiving additional gifts. That's why we recruit these age demographics of donors. The donors who our charity partners will benefit the most from. We don't benefit from any additional gifts that come in on top of the lottery or the regular gift. But knowing what we know, that's why we put strict rules in place around the recruitment age of new donors. We train and educate our fundraisers so that they understand and they're passionate about which type of donor will have the most positive impact to the charity that they're representing. If you've liked this podcast, consider subscribing. You'll get notified when we upload new content, and maybe even consider sharing it with your professional networks. I'm going to leave you here today with some stats from the data, and I hope that this helps you break down any internal barriers that you might have next time someone tells you that a lottery player, well, they're only in it for the prizes, or Maybe a lottery player's only worth £1 a week. So I'm going to lead you out with some stats. 93 gifts of over £5,000 in value have been received by this charity. 471 gifts of over £1,000 have been received. 30.51% of lottery players over the age of 80 have left an additional gift to this charity. 9,577 additional gifts received on top of lottery payments. 212 people have participated in events and challenges. 162 people have gone on to volunteer. £368,000 worth of additional gifts have been made in memory of a loved one, and 85.06% of gifts were received by people over the age of 50.